There is a major problem with the Oluwabamise's case right now, and we will talk about it in a moment. Let us first look at some of the updates. The last we talked about it, the bus driver claimed that he had no hands in her kidnap and death. He claimed the men in the bus that he picked along with her were the ones who hijacked the bus and did whatever they wanted to do with the girl. However, in another interview conducted by some group of people, he may have insinuated that he did something dirty to Bamise. These were his words. Although the video is not very clear and the audio is quite poor, Mr. Nines did say that he regretted the dirty act that he did and he was ashamed of himself. It's unclear what dirty act he was trying to talk about, but a lot of people are saying that he's basically admitting to sexually assaulting Oluwabamise. And while the story was making rounds on the internet, it was soon revealed that this particular driver may have sexually assaulted another victim last year in December in a BRT bus still. So clearly we were right. This was not the first time these people were doing such a thing, and we knew damn well that they wouldn't have stopped with Bamise. Chats from the previous victim began to circulate. Although someone sent this personally to me, I'm not sure if it's circulating on the internet, but the conversation is very similar to that of Bamise. The victim was said to be in the BRT bus all by herself last year in December, and she too started noticing something odd with the bus. That is when the person started texting her friend, just the same way Bamise was texting her own friend. It was learned that this victim actually went to report to the police that she was sexually assaulted in a BRT bus, but the police never did anything. Maybe if the police had looked into her case, they would have caught this man earlier, and all of this would have been prevented. I guess there is a flaw here with the system. And I think the only reason why this case is getting so much attention is because many of us spoke out, and eventually she even died. I'm sure if she survived just the rape incident, the police would never have cared to chase this man down. Because I don't know what stopped them from looking into this case. It's actually the same guy. It's funny when you're dead how people start listening. I guess it's safe to say that she paid the ultimate price with her life to keep this monster away from future victims. Now let's talk about the big problem with the Oluwabamise's case right now. So when it was first reported that Oluwabamise's body was found, there were claims from an eyewitness that her private part was missing. But when eventually we got the news that her elder brother had gone to identify her body in the morgue, it was reported that the brother claimed that they would have to do an autopsy to know if they cut any part of her body or if they injected her. Which to my interpretation meant that at first sight or in plain sight, nothing was cut out of her body. Even in the video that we saw of her body being on the road, there wasn't any obvious indication that she was cut or injured, aside from her left shoulders that had some bloodish stain, which indicated that she may have bled from her mouth. So the brother who was the first to see her body did not exactly indicate that any part of her body was obviously cut out. However, in a recent conference interview, Bamise's sister claimed that Bamise's private areas were cut out with her being alive.
I am the senior sister to Ayowola Oluwabamise. That's the Nigerian government. They made her to suffer life. They remove her private part.
Don't forget that Bamise was said to be alive at the time she was thrown out of the bus. Eyewitnesses claim that she was screaming, she was crying, she was alive for a while. They even gave her water, and in the video you could see sachets of water around her body. Her dress was up, which indicated that she may have been sexually assaulted, in which the people around covered her body with a wrapper. So the sister claimed that when Bamise was alive, the abductors mutilated her private parts. On the contrary, when the Lagos State Commissioner of Police was interviewed, he was asked if any part of her body was mutilated. That is in reference to the interview Bamise's sister gave. And he bluntly said no.
Also saw information that alleged that the missing body parts.
That is not true. That is not true. I visited the morgue myself and I saw the lifeless body. Even the members of the family visited the place with the DPO Ebute, and they can attest to the fact that no part of her body was.
He said that no part of her body was cut out, adding that he saw the body himself along with other family members, and they all could confirm that no part of Bamise's body was mutilated. Although he did say that they would have to run an autopsy to know if anything extra was done, let's say injection, or if she was strangled or something else. But he said looking at her body, it was clear that nothing was cut out. This is causing a major division in the internet. A lot of people don't know who to believe right now. Was Bamiche's sister over-exaggerating, or is the police lying? My thing is, when it comes to mutilated body parts, it's not something you can cover up. It's not something anyone can hide. I think all it should take is for someone to just look at it and see that it had been cut out. And yes, I understand that the police have a history of being shady with cases like this. But again, how can they lie about a body part being cut out? But I'm going to have to side with the sister on this for now. Probably because she's a woman and she would understand what the body parts look like a lot better than the men. So maybe if she saw something, she's probably speaking out from what she saw. I'm not an expert on private parts, so we will just have to wait for the autopsy results to come out. And again, maybe if other family members of hers could also back her up, I guess then we'd know for sure that parts of her body was cut out. But I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you think the police is lying? Or do you think she might have been overly upset, most likely speaking off on the rumors that were going around at the initial time? Let me know your thoughts. Lastly, the police have said that the man, Mr. Nines, has not given them any concrete confession. Even though that he may have admitted to doing something with her, I guess the police are looking for something more than that. So we will just have to wait for the investigation to be concluded. Hopefully the other members of his gang will be found and arrested to make sense of all of this.